Well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome lords and ladies and knights of the realm and little halflings and visitors and friends. Thank you all. I'm really pleased to have you here at my book launch. So it's Dragon's Revenge today, and that's the third book in the trilogy. So the first book is Elven Duel and the second book is Hunter's Quest. So this is the conclusion, number 3. So these are the first two books. Elven Duel is the first book in the series. This is my little friend Jade. Are you a fairy today or are you a princess?
A princess.
A princess. And what are you, Rosalie? Oh, we've got 2 princesses today, so that's great. So in this book we've got a princess and we've got fairies, and the fairies are bonded to the halflings, which is something unique in my series. So it's a symbiotic relationship that the halflings get energy from the fairies, and the fairies can heal the halflings. So their peaceful land is invaded by lizard men in the first book, called the Virgi, and the Elven Jewel is stolen. And a group of heroes are formed, and they're called the Hunters of Reloria. So that's what the arc of the whole series is about. Did you want to say something, Jade? Go on then. And there's cake. I'm so lucky to have help. So then in the second book, the Elven Jewel has been stolen, has been taken away. And in the second book, our hunters travel through the lands. They go to the Centaur land, they go to the Mermaid land, they go to the home of the elves, and they go to the Dragon's land. And the heroes discover that giant cyclops are controlling the Virgi, the lizard men, and they have to find a mage to assist them in their goal. So that's what happens in the second book. They're looking for a mage. I think I go on to the next one. So this is Dragon's Revenge. This is the new one. And as I mentioned already, the artwork on the cover was done by Scott Patterson. He's a very talented local artist. And then another one is a graphic designer, has done the print on the front. So his name is Troy Stoikowski, and he lives on the peninsula as well. So it's nice to get local people involved in the series. So the Hunters of Reloria, we've got a mountain man who actually can shapeshift into a dragon. We've got 2 dwarves, we've got 2 elves, we've got a mage, and we've got 4 halflings, and they all have a bond fairy with them. And so altogether they're the Hunters of Reloria, so they're all the goodies, and they're out to save the day from the bad cyclops and the lizard men who are coming to invade the land. And there they are. This picture on the left was done by a man in America called Mike Fertig, who entered the art competition for the second book. And then this one is done by Bailey, aged 12, who's here today. So in the third book, there's more action. The battle is on. There's dragons, there's hydras, there's lizard men, and the cyclops. And the cyclops have a laser beam coming out of their eye. So it's all fantastical fun. So I've been getting lots of reviews online. Most of them are from America, which is the biggest market for ebooks because they're on electronic books on Amazon.com. Just a minute, please. And
so we have 8 hunters bound on an impossible quest to free their land from this terrible enemy. The friendships that these characters have formed have overcome great obstacles. The story continues without letter, with some new characters added to fuel our imagination. There are lots of wonderful and exciting twists in this final book, the trilogy. It will have you laughing with. It will have you crying for and yelling out warnings to the characters as danger lurches. Kasper brings these characters alive, and you get the feeling that you are often there with them, sword in hand, helping to combat the enemy. You are living the characters and forming the same friendship bonds. Your children, big and small, they will have their eyes glued to the addictive pages of this thrilling series. The only drawback that I found is at the end of the trilogy, there's no more, the story's over. So we're going to go back to the beginning and start again. Kasper has done a marvellous job in writing these novels for all of us to enjoy, while juggling home duties, life, children and work. How does she do it? Obviously she has a Reloria magic. All I can say now is, let us wait for the miniseries. Thank you.
5 stars from a young reader. It's so awesome. 5 stars. There are some great moments. The relationship between the halflings and the Bond Fairy is beautiful, and towards the end, so sad. And I personally love the swords and magic. Swords. So that is a big plus for me. Also, I like that there are dwarves going around selling beer and drinking some too. But most of all, dragons are awesome! And I think they used well here. So this is from the viewpoint of a 12-year-old, so it's so awesome!
Yay!
Reviews of Elven Jewel. 5 stars, a truly enjoyable read by Marcus Book Reviews. Elven Jewel, Hunters of Reloria Book 1, is a cut above its contemporaries for its imaginative creation of the world of Reloria and the depiction of a motley crew of hunters who intend to save the continent from barbaric invaders. The narrative style fits the genre, and it presents the drama, humour and the action at precisely the right time. It's truly an enjoyable read.
Here is a 5-star review from Italy by Sarah Lenardi. What makes Elven Jewel special is the author's ability to create Reloria's world. The readers can see lush woods, the magnificent elven palace, and small country towns of Reloria as if they were real in front of their eyes. From the young halflings, sweet and brave, to the dwarves, funny and stubborn, to the noble knights, all of them embody heroes with timeless values. Only their friendship, bravery and loyalty can save Reloria. My favourite characters are the fairies, tiny and beautiful. They are closely linked to the halflings and they help them in the mission. Finally, the book is wonderfully written. The author's style is simple and flowing and perfectly goes along with the fast-paced action.
Five stars from Lucinda Reviews. A supremely magical fantasy story of extraordinary depth and inspired vision. This review is from Elven Jewel, Hunters of Reloria. Similarly to master mythmaker, the legendary J.R.R. Tolkien, this truly remarkable debut novel is a masterpiece of refreshing originality and breathtaking scope. The use of metaphorical nuance as an undertone to Kasper Beaumont's fantasy world is brilliant, as it enhances the believability and realistic feel of her creation. I was swept away into a mystical realm of halflings and curious creatures, from elves to dwarves, sorcerers and dark enemies, as found in The Hobbit. I felt sure that the author draws her inspiration and concepts from children's classic fairy fantasy tales such as The Hobbit and Narnia, yet with a distinctly contemporary twist and idiosyncratic style.
Reviews of Hunter's Quest. 5 stars. I Love the Mermaids on October 19, 2014 by Josie West from Canada. I was given this book for an honest review by this talented author. After finishing The Elven Jewel, I looked forward to once again be transported to another world. I found this book superb. It was intense. I love the mermaids, centaurs and dragons. This has a fast-moving plot and action-packed with new characters. Their continued journey is treacherous, what with battles and magic. I highly recommend this excellent read for middle school kids and the young at heart. It will not disappoint.
5-star review from the UK. July the 19th, 2014 by Lorna, UK on Amazon.co. 5 stars, superb continuation of the Hunters series. The quest for the precious jewel continues, and the heroes are developing beautifully against the amazing backdrop that has been so skillfully crafted. Action-packed from the outset, the fantastical creatures abound, with mermaids, centaurs and gnomes, to name only a few, introduced at stages throughout the fast-moving plot. I liked the lovely, funny quirks of these creatures in much the same way as I was enamoured with the depiction of the fairies.
Hey, sweetie pie, how are you?
Reviews of Dragon's Revenge. 5 stars, an exciting read by Amazon customer Kerry Hall from the Fantasy Sci-Fi Network. As the Hunters' characters grow in depth and roundness, they are thrust into fast-paced and exciting though deadly situations. They must learn about deep friendship, trust and teamwork to survive. The battle scenes are expertly described. There are plot twists and challenges around every corner. The imagination of the author again reaches to new heights. Humour and witty retorts between the main characters are perfectly timed with an original and authentic plot. The ending will have you riveted as the Hunters are joined by all Relorian inhabitants to defend their home and freedom. A superb effort and fabulous trilogy.
A youngster's opinion from Kyla, age 11. Kasper's books are the best I've ever read. 5 stars. I like reading Kasper's books because there is always an exciting adventure around every corner. The characters feel like they come to life, and my favorites are Fendi and Sienna. Sienna is a brave young girl who likes to help those in need, and will help you when you are in trouble. I love her adventurous spirit. I enjoy how Kasper's books have lots of twists and turns, and I feel excited and tingly to find out what will happen next. I enjoy how the new characters and fantasy creatures and adventure more exciting. I find it so hard to stop reading and put my book down, as I want to see what happens next. I'm excited to read the next book. Yay!
Thank you so much to everyone who came to the Dragon's Revenge book launch. I hope you all really enjoy reading the books, especially the new book, Dragon's Revenge. Have a magical day. Thank you. Bye.
It's